be here today without the support of so many committed volunteers. You truly fuel our work. I just want to take a moment to thank some of them and acknowledge their contributions, so please bear with me. But first, I want to start with JPMorgan Chase, our presenting sponsor. They've been a tremendous partner to Mentor New York and Mentor, our National Mentoring Partnership. We have done amazing work together, and I look forward to the continual work we will be doing. This evening, JPMorgan Chase is represented by Marley Henderson and some of the many employees that helped us in our selection committee. Marley is part of the global philanthropy team at Chase, JPMorgan Chase, and she's really a great partner to me. She embraced the vision for this event and really ran with the idea. And I'd like to invite Marley Henderson to welcome everyone this evening for this moment.
Thank you, Brenda. It's great to be able to spend time with you all this evening. As Brenda said, I'm Marley Henderson, and I'm on JPMC's Global Philanthropy team, managing our youth mentorship programming. And in this capacity, I've had the honor and privilege to work with Mentor New York on numerous occasions, making impactful experiences for young people. And we always know that partnering with Brenda and the team, Jessica and Hadley, will always allow us to bring the best parts of the firm out into the communities to serve the best part of our communities, which I personally believe is our youth. So I'm happy to be here and to celebrate with Mentor New York today, and to those who are being honored. Special thank you to the JPMorgan employees who have contributed to making this event a success. And just again, congratulations to the Mentor team for your continued commitment and invaluable programming that you're providing for youth. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you so much, Marley. Really quickly, I'd love to have JPMorgan Chase Mentor of the Year Award Selection Committee members just wave when I call your name. They were an incredible group of individuals who had the impossible task of reviewing 30 amazing applications and picking our winners that are so deserving. Shantae Blackwell, Deborah Charlemagne, Juan Galeano, Gabriel Goda, Brenna Mahida, Jahad Martin, Lydia Rakova, Gladys Sandoval, and Ra Shiva. Thank you so much to each of you. I think you're going to be pleased with the winners that we selected and the amazing mentees and the special relationships that we'll be highlighting tonight. So thank you for that support. One of the main reasons tonight is a success is because of longtime donors and sponsors that continue to believe in our work and invest in the mentoring movement. I'd like to give a special thanks to those special and generous sponsors: Linda and Leonard Berkowitz, Beth Page Federal Credit Union with the leadership of Linda Arman, the Boisi family, Mark and Barbara Boisi, Philip Bonanno and Dorothy Whalen, Joan Brennan, Sir Tillman Balin, Adler, and Hyman, and in the leadership of Fred Skolnick and Brian Ziegler, Ruben and Jean Cohen, Dan Donnelly, Mike and Ann Duffy, First Niagara Foundation in partnership with Key Bank with the leadership of Elizabeth Gurney, Mr. and Mrs. Robert Fasci, Kirsten Heineman, Ms. Susan Karches, and Evan Krennick, just to name a few. Of course, I'd be remiss if I didn't add the Mylander family, People's United Bank under Steve Santino's leadership, PSENG Long Island under the leadership of Andrea Elder Howe, the Salvatical family, Schaefer Cullen Capital Management, and John and Pat Sheehy. Lastly, I had to thank an amazing young professional advisory board that pulls together this event, which usually is a great time at the Bowery Hotel at the kicking off the summer in honor of Luke Boisi, and they do an amazing job every year. They've been such great partners in making sure that we pivoted and did the amazing work that we're going to present to you tonight. And special thanks to Zach Boisi, who's the co-founder of the YPAB, Morgan Slade and Nicole White, who are the co-chairs and have been so instrumental in supporting me, not only in this new role, but making sure that we can make tonight happen. The board consists of Cassie Black, John Boisi, Lydia Boisi, Peter Boisi, Ryan Boozer, Grace Fallon, Katrina Gary, Evan Gorgon, Chelsea Landon, Christina Malamy, Megan McGurk, Perry Polikoff, and Kylie Stevens. Thank you so much for your continued support and the amazing work that you did in the peer-and-peer fundraising events portion of this this night, which is raised, I think, well over or close to $12,000 by this evening. So thank you so much. And now I have the honor to introduce to you someone that's been a great mentor and support to me as I embrace this new role, and a great champion of mentoring, our Mentor New York Board Chairman, Bob McCoy.
Okay, thank you, Brenda, for that introduction. Good evening, everyone. This is a first, but on behalf of Mentors New York staff and the Board of Directors, I would like to thank you and welcome you to our first virtual event. And events like this don't happen in a vacuum. And as you know, we have an amazing staff led by Brenda. And so I want to thank them for their hard work in putting this all together. And I tell you, I have an amazing set of board colleagues who come together on a quarterly basis to roll their sleeves up to move this organization forward. So if you allow me a moment to just recognize each one of them. Matthew Spiro, Stephen Chip Verone, John Narduli, Linda Arman, Doreen Barry Schneider, Renee Boisi, Pamela Dambuski, Dan Donnelly, Andrea Elder Howell, Amanda Huang, Robert Salvatico, Stephen Santino, David Swartz, Katya Skopoulos, Fred Skolnick, Christina Vidiello Selden, Harris Zakarin, and Brian Ziegler. Let's just take a moment and give them a round of applause. I can't see you, but I feel you. Obviously, we wish we could come together to celebrate, but the health and safety of Mentor New York supporters and staff, are our top priority. And despite not being in person, I can still feel a strong sense of community wherever you are. As you know, this event is unique this year because location is no longer a barrier to entry. This virtual event is an opportunity to truly welcome the entire state to celebrate our work together. It is the collective power of mentoring throughout New York that has allowed us to make huge strides this past year, and we know it could not be available without you, our supporters, and our programs. Now more than ever, we need to continue to come together as a community to support young people. Whether you're a corporate sponsor, a donor, a program staff member, a mentor, a parent, or community leader, it is our collective power in this movement that will continue to transform the lives of young people and make a huge difference. It is now my pleasure to pass this off to Zach Boisi to share a few words honoring the life of Luke. Zach is Mentor New York's former executive director and co-founder of the Young Professionals Advisory Board.
Thank you, Brenda and Vaughn, for that welcome. And wow, people actually showed up. So a toast to all of you for joining us tonight. I know it's hard to, get away from work, get away from the family, but I promise you this will be an hour that you will never forget. So I appreciate you giving me the opportunity to say a few words about mentoring, about why this event is so special to me, and about the Young Professional Advisory Board. To me, mentoring is all about relationships. And during these past few months, I think it's fair to say we've all learned the value of relationships. For our young people, having relationships that they can count on has been an invaluable resource as they try to navigate new realities. Having a favorite relative, a trusted teacher, an older peer, or a mentor can influence how they see and react to the world around them. We know that no one is immune to the stress, anxiety, and isolation presented by this perfect storm of a global pandemic, economic uncertainties, and a wave of social injustices. Every young person is facing adversity in some way or another. And we want to believe that young people are resilient and therefore will be able to navigate these challenges the same way they navigate so many other day-to-day challenges. But the reality is, it may be too much this time around. Research shows that having additional caring adults, beyond their loving parents or caretakers, can have a myriad of social and emotional benefits. These include improved self-regulation, guidance around academic issues, planning for the future, and performance-based feedback. To ensure that our communities survive this moment, we must commit to being there for young people and helping them to tap into their greatest potential. I encourage you all to think about what you can do during this time and how you can help make a positive impact in a young person's life. To help, Mentor, the National Mentoring Partnership, offers a free volunteer referral service, the Mentoring Connector, which is a database that is designed to help mentoring programs across the United States recruit volunteer mentors. You can search for mentoring opportunities by your preferred zip code and find your perfect match. You can check out that website in the chat now and find a mentoring program near you. And now a little bit more about the event. 17 years ago, when I was director at Mentor New York, I started the Young Professional Advisory Board with the sole purpose of introducing mentoring to the next generation of leaders. People who have the time, the talent, and either the current or hopefully future resources to help advance the mentoring movement. The signature event for the Young Professional Advisory Board is Mentoring's Night Out, which over the years has been coupled with the Mentor of the Year Awards and celebrated, as Brenda mentioned earlier, in person at the kickoff of the summer. The event was initially called the Luke Boisi Memorial Event, which was an opportunity for friends and family to gather and celebrate the memory of my brother Luke, who was a huge champion for volunteering and mentoring. In addition to celebrating his life, we wanted to raise awareness to mentoring and raise funding for Mentor New York. I'm happy to share that since the event's inception, which started with 150 people on a boat cruise around Manhattan and raised a paltry $1,500, we have since raised over $1 million and brought together close to 4,500 people in celebration. Many people I see here tonight have joined us for multiple events throughout the past 17 years, and I truly thank you for that. The funds raised have enabled Mentor New York to expand their services to the entire state and continue providing trainings and consultations to over 850 program partners that reach 80,000 young people. I know that Luke would be extremely proud. This year's event would not have been possible without the support and leadership of our Young Professional Advisory Board. I want to take a moment to personally thank every one of you on the board and make a special acknowledgement to our co-chairs, Morgan Slade and Nicole White, for their leadership and commitment to the organization. For anyone who might be interested in joining the Young Professional Advisory Board in the future, please reach out to Jessica Silverstein at Mentor New York. Her email has been added into the chat. Let me close by saying how proud I am to be a part of this organization and this movement. Mentor New York has made great strides in supporting mentoring programs during COVID-19 and these unprecedented times. But there is still so much more work that needs to be done as we continue to navigate these new norms, and that's where we need you. You can help make a difference during this time. Please consider becoming a mentor, learning more about mentoring, and continuing to invest in the mentoring movement. At this time, I'd like to share with everyone a video about Mentor New York. My family and I have supported this wonderful organization for not only many years, but many decades. And I hope that after this video, you too will join us in that long-term commitment.
Mentor New York is on a mission to fuel the quality and quantity of mentoring relationships for young people and close the mentoring gap across New York State.
We are the coaches and trainers who help other professionals start and run their own mentoring programs. From guidance counselors in a school to program coordinators at a mentoring program or a human resources professional at a company, Mentor New York is here to support them in their work with young people.
We know that relationships can happen anywhere and everywhere young people live, learn, work, and play. We also know that there's about 500,000 young people across New York that don't have a mentor yet. This is what we call the mentoring gap. The purpose of our work is to close that mentoring gap. By partnering with professionals and starting mentoring programs and mentoring initiatives across New York State, we increase the amount of mentoring relationships available for young people.
I've had the pleasure of working with Mentor New York for over the past 8 years. In 2012, DYCD was charged with offering mentoring activities to the communities that we serve.
We provide a myriad of services to current and prospective program partners. We offer training to nonprofit organizations, including in-person training, webinars, and panels.
What Mentor New York has done for DYCD is exemplary. They have created an opportunity for DYCD to customize experiences, training, and webinars.
We offer specialized and specific consultation to programs using our expertise in mentoring, evidence-based best practices, and youth development to help programs evaluate their work and enhance quality of services.
They've also sat with DYCD and provided us with feedback and expertise on how we can continue to grow our mentoring initiative and what best practices should be included in our model.
We connect mentoring professionals across the state by offering peer sharing and learning opportunities, like our annual conferences, roundtables, and other virtual forums. We are a thinking partner, a trainer, an expert, and partner to mentoring practitioners.
It has been a pleasure to work with Mentor New York.
Mentor New York continues to build strategic relationships and partnerships. Starting with only 70 programs when we first started, now we're over 850 programs providing mentoring services throughout New York State.
We know now more than ever that this work really matters. And we won't stop until every young person across the state has a mentor. Because we know that with mentors, we give young people the opportunity to tap into their greatest potential. Mentor On March 13th, Mentor New York began to work remotely and respond to the urgent needs that a global pandemic was introducing to the lives of young people across New York State. We quickly understood, like many of you, that programs would need support to navigate this crisis and be responsive. We immediately started fielding email requests from programs trying to transition staff to a virtual reality and their challenge to locate mentees that they engage with during or after school hours. The pressing needs of a health crisis and economic pause demanded our programs to temporarily transition their service models to address the food and shelter insecurities many young people and their families were facing. Our amazing team came together and customized curriculums, tip sheets, and support resources that would respond to the many concerns and challenges and realities that funders and program partners were already articulating only a few business days into the pandemic. By March 20th, we were sharing our new services and portfolio for our network. In lockstep with our national organization, we also began to work on creating partnerships for virtual mentoring to take place and directing funding opportunities to local programs. Whatever we could do to support the frontline workers for our young people, we were doing it. In 26 weeks, we quadrupled our services and provided youth development and mentoring professionals. We engage with several different ways that they can have resources and be involved. We led over 30 trainings serving nearly 2,000 individuals, provided approximately 600 hours of no-cost consulting services to over 60 programs, connected the sector through roundtables and open forum discussions that allow peer sharing and collective support that they so needed, and engaged over 3,200 individuals representing 1,300 programs throughout the state with weekly email blasts that contained information, resources, and a number of strategies that programs continue to tap into throughout this time. We've increased our network by 900 youth development professionals and our portfolio by 200 new programs. And our work is far from done. Mentor New York recently conducted a program survey to assess the impact of COVID-19 and what was next for our partners. We are committed to continue to be responsive as schools reopen and this financial impact affects their long-term sustainability. and your support tonight ensures we can continue to do this work. As the leader of this organization, I'm always humbled by this work. There are amazing people in our communities who are truly the frontline heroes for our young people. Together, you and I have built Mentor New York. Each of us here tonight has made our own contributions, small or large, to prepare this organization to support the over 1,100 programs that have engaged with us over the last 26 weeks and served close to 100,000 young people during this pandemic. Our goal now more than ever is to ensure that a caring adults is helping tap into our young people's greatest potential, even during these difficult times. Finally, Mentor New York must continue to be a leader in driving conversations that are important to the lives of young people across the state. As we continue to witness racial injustice across this country, it is impacting young people's lives. I've received so many requests from programs seeking support in this area. Recently, we've developed a racial justice framework to elevate Black youth voices so that we impact all youth voices and help program partners continue to increase racial equity and inclusion that transforms not only their programs, but also our communities. Now I'll hand it back to Vaughn to continue with the program.
Thank you, Brenda, again for all the work that you and the staff are doing. It is now my pleasure to introduce Jeff Boisi, whose long distinguished career in finance and philanthropy is well documented. Jeff is the chairman and CEO of Roundtable Investment Partners. He's a former vice chairman at JPMorgan Chase. He's a founding partner of the Beacon Group, and he was also once on the management committee of Goldman Sachs. Fortunate for us, in 1989, he co-founded Mentor with someone who is a big player in New Jersey, Ray Chambers, and together they came up with the National Mentoring Partnership. Mentor New York is a proud affiliate of Mentor, and Mentor New York is one of Mentor's oldest mentoring affiliates. So without further ado, Jeff Boisi.
Thanks so much, Vaughn and Brenda and Zach and the young professional team. You've done a phenomenal job. You know, Reen, my wife, and I are honored to be with you again tonight and presenting the Mentor of Year Awards, and especially tonight to honor our good friend Jean Cohen. You know, this, as Zach said, this has been a family affair for us for over 30 years. And we encourage other families to get actively involved because it's been a very meaningful thing to all of us. It's just, this is always one of the exciting nights of the year for us when we are able to honor the mentors of the year from New York State. These mentors exemplify why mentoring movement is an asset to our communities. And so with, you know, let's get right down to the business of the evening. Our first mentor of the year is Pat Ben Hazel, who started the Baldwin High School as a business teacher. And she created the mentoring program at the Baldwin School District, and is also a mentor to Gordon, an 18-year-old student. You know, some may ask, what do you do? What do these two value most in their mentoring relationship? And first and foremost, it's friendship. The two enjoy celebrating Gordon's victories together, especially during lunchtime. Pat and Gordon's favorite activity was to eat lunch together in her office. And together, Pat and Gordon have celebrated his courage in putting himself out there and joining multiple clubs in his high school with a little encouragement from Pat. Gordon has joined the bowling team, ran for office for the Future Leaders, Business Leaders of America Club, and he's joined the Key Club. And one of Gordon's greatest achievements includes applying to college, and Gordon right now is attending SUNY Stony Brook. And so let's meet Pat and Gordon and view them on this little video we have.
became a mentor because I knew mentoring could make a huge difference in the lives of so many students in the Baldwin School District for the past 20 years. The main goal has been to match a young adult with a committed, caring mentor who would provide encouragement and serve as a positive adult role model. My individual experience as a mentor has been both amazing and rewarding for me as well as my mentee. I never expected to receive an award for a program that I am so passionate about. I can't express enough my gratitude for being recognized. This award represents the positive effect that one individual can have on a young student through listening, guiding, advising, and just being a role model and a friend. It is truly an honor to have received this award. Thank you. I met my mentee 2.5 years ago. Today, my mentee is like family to me. He was graduating from high school, had won 2 outstanding senior awards, turning 18, going to Stony Brook University to study nursing, shopping for college at Bed Bath. My husband had gotten involved working on his college documents. His father worked long hours and was not available. My greatest joy was giving him the confidence and the encouragement to reach for his goals. He moved home with his dad, and I knew how much that meant to him. My mentee is leaving for college this week to start his journey he's been dreaming about. I told him we are friends forever, and I'm so proud of his accomplishments.
Mrs. Van Hazel was more than just a mentor. She was a close friend and someone you could talk to whenever you were stressed, confused, or just needed someone to talk to in general. She has been able to guide me through these past 2 years and allowed me to have a clear vision in my mind of what I want to be and do in the future. Through her assistance, my life has been made so much more easier, and I appreciate everything she has done, and words cannot express my gratitude. I sincerely thank the Mentor and Mentee program for everything it's done.
Congratulations, Pat and Gordon. Well done. Thank you so much. Ernie Howard, our second award winner for the evening, started his life's next chapter in retirement, looking to get involved in his community. That's when Ernie discovered the Chautauqua Striders and became William's mentor. The two clicked right away and have learned a lot from each other, whether it's in a conversation about the value of every human life, black, white, old, young, male or female, or discussing video games. The two never run out of things to talk about. Because of William, Ernie is more open to new ideas. Ernie says that without William, his life would be less complete. Even during the global pandemic, Ernie had continued to maintain regular contact with William via FaceTime and going to his house where he would stand outside and talk to William through an open window. William says that having a male figure to talk to has helped him become much more confident. So let's hear more about Ernie and William's relationship.
5 years ago, I had retired from my main job and had also stopped working my part-time job and was looking for a volunteer opportunity. I went to the local senior volunteer office, and one of the things that presented to me was to talk with a young person at their school lunch hour for a half hour once a week. And I thought, well, I could do that. I like kids, they seem to like me, and it went from there, and that's how I first started being a mentor. Well, I've learned what kids do when they're not in school, which is play a whole lot of video games. On a more serious note, what I've learned, especially at one of the trainings we had here at Chautauqua Striders, was how much poverty there is right here in our local area. It's a staggering amount of people that live below the poverty level here in our city school district. What this award means to me is that people and organizations are recognizing that I am doing okay at my job. It's always nice to be patted on the back a little bit, and that there's organizations out there that want to say thank you. Will, and working with him, gets me outside my usual circle of comfort of family and friends into a new realm of younger people's world, which is wonderful, keeps me younger. Everything that we do is kind of adventurous, and we both enjoy each other. It's a great time together. Thanks, Will.
Hi, my name is William Robertson, and this is a thank you video to my mentor, Ernie. And Ernie, I just wanted to say thank you for being my mentor for many years. Not only just my mentor, but you've kind of taken me under your wing, and you felt like family. And I have this photo that Diane took of us back in the spring of 2019, and the title is My Friend. And that's us in the photo at your house. And I just wanted to say thank you for this great time we spent together, and you really deserve this reward.
Great job, Ernie and William. Congrats very much. Well done. The next Mentor of the Year award goes to CARA GINSBERG. CARA is an AIS teacher for the Marion G. Vedder Elementary School in North Babylon School District, and is mentor to 8-year-old Bensley. After hanging out one day after school playing games and listening to stories together, Bensley told CARA the next day that it was the best day of his life. Together, the two celebrate Bensley's academic and social success. Bensley's day wouldn't be the same without starting it off every morning visiting CARA. CARA and Bensley always look forward to getting together, sharing snacks, talking, crafting, and playing games. Let's meet CARA and Bensley.
The thing that gives this award so much meaning to me is the amazing community that presents it. I'm honored to have been recognized by an organization of people whose work in mentoring I really admire. To be acknowledged by you all really affirms my belief that we can make a difference and encourages me to keep at it. But it would be wrong of me not to mention that I am not alone in this. I work with an amazing team at Marion G. Vedder Elementary School in the North Babylon School District, who create the environment where I and my mentee can succeed. I became a mentor when I started working at MGV because I knew some students needed guidance, stability, and care that extended beyond my role as a classroom teacher. It became apparent to me that I could make even more of an impact on someone's life in the time between classes as during them. Once I started, I knew that mentoring my students would become one of the most fulfilling parts of my career. The most valuable lesson I've learned from my experiences as a mentor is the impact that a small gesture and a little quality time can have on the right person. At the end of each day, for a few minutes, my mentee and I can catch up and share an afternoon snack together. On the surface, that may not sound like much, but to him and to many others, it can make a world of difference. I've learned that even the smallest gesture can be a very positive force in our mentees' lives. My mentee always tells me that he loves me because I love him. Hearing something like that, I can't help but appreciate that he has become as meaningful in my life as I have in his. Mentoring is undeniably a two-way street in which the more you give, the more you'll get in return. I always support my mentee when things get difficult, and in return, I get to share in his growth and joy when I see him succeed. And nothing means more to me than seeing him succeed.
Miss Ginsberg is the best teacher in the whole world.
Congrats, CARA and Bensley. Well done. What a beautiful relationship. Our fourth Mentor of the Year award goes to Joe FERGUS. Joe is a managing director of sales and marketing for Oak Tree Capital and a mentor at Connections Mentoring. Joe has been a mentor to 18-year-old TJ for over 3 years. Joe and TJ share a special relationship. The two have learned and grown from each other. Most importantly, Joe has learned from TJ resilience, how to be stronger, and how to be more compassionate and educated about stereotypes and racism. For the pair, it's not necessarily about the big things, but it's about the small things that end up mattering most. That includes TJ teaching Joe about all the college basketball teams. And what's most unique about the pair is that it's not always about the talking when they hang out. It's about spending quality time with each other and enjoying what they're doing, and that they're doing it together. The two have celebrated some of TJ's most exciting moments, including high school graduation and moving on to college. So let's learn more about Joe and TJ's story.
Hi, everybody. My name is Joe Fergus. I want to thank Mentor New York's for naming me Mentor of the Year or honoring me with this award. And I want to thank Connections for nominating me. You know, I was a little bit embarrassed when they told me about this because, to be honest with you, nobody becomes a mentor for attention for themselves. The idea is to try to draw attention to these kids who need some help, who are reaching out and asking for a stable adult in their life. And so I'm thrilled to have this attention, and I would like to shed it upon my mentee. I'd like to dedicate this to my mentee, TJ. He's been solid since I met him a few years ago, and he's grown up remarkably to a nice, thoughtful young man. And I couldn't be more proud of the transformation he's made in the few short years that I learned from being a mentor is, you know, these kids, a lot of these kids have a tough life, and they get up every day, put their shoes on every day, and deal with life and deal with it well. And I'm inspired, to be honest with you, every single day when I talk to my mentee about how he's approaching things. I've learned so much from him. You know, he adopts kind of a Mamba mentality. He's, you know, Kobe Bryant was one of his icons. And, you know, he adopts this mentality of trying to be his best all the time. And it's really inspiring to me. My mentee, TJ, means so much to me. He's just a wonderful, decent, nice, thoughtful person who's had tough circumstances, but has dealt with it, you know, so well. And I frankly am hopeful. He's asked me many times, Joe, you know, how long will you be my mentor? And I've told him, as long as you'll let me. I mean, I hope I have him in my life for the rest of my life. He's a wonderful, wonderful person. And, you know, obviously I wish him all the success in the world. And I'm hopeful that we have a relationship for a very long time.
Like, I see I'm getting older, so I need to do certain things, move differently, act differently. And I started realizing I'm progressing, not decreasing. Then I realized, like, I got a good mentor, like, he teaching me the way to go around. I think, honestly, I wouldn't know the information that I know now. I wouldn't have made it as far as I made it now if I didn't know Joe.
That's an inspiring story, and congrats to Joe and TJ, and well done. Good job. And our last award, but certainly not least, goes to a very special mentor, Berenice BELIZAIRE, who is a senior manager and consultant at Ernst & Young. Berenice's support from her mother and mentor, who was one of her middle school teachers, inspired her to become a mentor when she got older. Biggs and Little's New York City mentoring provided her the perfect opportunity, and she became a mentor to 8-year-old Tiana. The two immediately bonded over their love of arts. During one of their first moments together, Tiana left no time to waste and started creating a list of activities they planned to do together with Berenice. Without Tiana, Berenice says that she wouldn't have become her better self this past year. Even though they shifted to e-mentoring, Berenice and Tiana have met almost every weekend for about 1 to 3 hours. Berenice feels inspired about using technology to support Tiana's learning of new things. This includes helping to teach Tiana virtually how to tell time on an analog clock and participating in virtual exercise classes together. Berenice is continually inspired by Tiana, including when they have conversations about race and racial justice, and when Tiana participated in a peaceful protest organized by her school. Seeing how Tiana is handling the current situation has inspired Berenice and helped her to keep hope alive. So hopefully you'll watch this video after Berenice
to receive this award, and I am grateful to Biggs and Little and JPMorgan Chase for the recognition. I am especially thankful to Deline and Chantel for allowing me to be part of Tiana's life. I share this award with Tiana, and to me it represents the continuous growth of our journey together. From the start, it was easy to connect and relate to Tiana, and I'm happy to see that the pandemic and being remote have not impacted our relationship much. I spent 4 wonderful years at MIT as an undergrad, so when an opportunity came for me to recruit minority students to the school, I jumped on it. I quickly realized that some of the candidates that I was interviewing were bright, but they did not fully understand the admission process beyond test scores. MIT does pay attention to extracurricular activities, specifically research conducted in the science field. Reflecting on my own experience as a kid who immigrated to a country that was unfamiliar to my parents, I was fortunate enough to stumble on a mentor that coached me and directed me in the right direction. I became a mentor to do the same, help a kid that may not have exposure to a field of interest or anyone to guide them. I became a mentor because I wanted to better prepare students for university, specifically with a focus on science and technology. As I spend more time with Tiana, my purpose for mentoring has shifted. Tiana is creative and she is much more interested in the arts than science. I now realize that mentoring is encouraging Tiana to become her best self by providing the necessary guidance and resources to allow her to do so. For us, this means creating a book, a puppet show, exploring couture in a fashion museum, and learning about that. Tiana has an excellent memory, and she remembers all the details of every outing that I have had with her, to the outfit that we wore that day. She also listened closely to my words, and she is able to tell my dislike and likes without hesitation. Knowing that she's closely observing our interaction and the impact that this may have on her own personal growth encourages me to acknowledge my flaws and continuously improve myself. She is very instrumental to my own growth and hope to achieve the same for her.
Why do you enjoy having BB as your mentor?
She's adventurous, she wants me to be smart, and she wants me to be healthy.
What's the most interesting thing you have done with BB?
When we went to Staten Island and we got food, we did so much activities, and we also explored around.
Tell me one thing that you would like to do in the future with BB.
In the future, I really, really want me and BB to go to the ice cream museum and eat all the ice cream there.
Congrats, Berenice and Tiana, well done. Why don't we give a big round of applause to all of our awardees this year. Pat, Ernie, CARA, Joe, Berenice, well done. Thank you so much for being our award winners this year. Now I'd like to introduce a really good friend, our longtime colleague, Jean Lahage Cohen. Jean has dedicated 25 years to Mentor New York, serving as the executive director for 14 years before transitioning into the role of senior advisor for strategic advancement. She's been a champion of the mentoring movement and a passionate advocate for young people in New York State for all that time. And Jean has helped move the organization and the mentoring movement forward, and under her leadership has expanded Mentor New York's service area to include the whole state, which has been just a phenomenal contribution to all of us. Zach is going to make a few comments in a few minutes on behalf of all of our family. But I just want to say that, Jean has been a cherished friend, and, she's an enormous, enormous talent. She has a big, big heart. My deceased father was a former chairman of the New York mentoring organization here of Long Island. And he was particularly fond of Jean. And my brothers and sisters and mother will never forget Jean's kindness to my father in his last days. And she's been a tremendous friend to our family. And she and Reen have worked closely together for many, many years in terms of growing both the Long Island operation and the overall New York operation. And so, Jean, we wish you, great success, and we thank you so much for everything you've done for us. So, turn it over to you.
Tonight we focus on honoring Jean Cohen, a friend, a colleague, a leader, a mentor. She's been just a leader in our movement in working with schools and success mentors and expanding Mentor New York statewide, and on so many fronts has contributed nationwide to what it takes to show up for all our young people by supporting her colleagues at other affiliates, creating innovations, and just always showing up for any of us in the mentoring movement who want to show up better for our young people so they can thrive and strive.
Jean Cohen is a cherished friend who has had a powerful influence on my family's lives, as well as the lives of thousands of children, mentees, mentors, program coordinators, board members, and mentoring supporters throughout New York City, Long Island, New York State, and the nation as a whole. Jean is tireless in her quest to make mentoring work with as many people as possible, but in a way that ensures quality mentoring. These services are extensive and have exponentially grown as Jean has steered the program from a local perspective on Long Island and New York City to a statewide partnership, as well as played a significant role on the board of the National Mentoring Partnership. The well-developed, detailed, groundbreaking initiatives that Jean has generated throughout her career are far too numerous to list. With abundant gratitude and all good wishes for Jean, the Boisi family wishes to thank you and recognize the hope and opportunities that you have provided to countless young people. Jean Cohen, the ultimate mentor, cherished friend, and influencer of influencers.
Hi, Jean. I'm so excited that we get to honor you tonight. It's truly been a long time coming. You are an inspiration, not only to me, but everyone here at Mentor New York. It was your idea that took us from the Mentoring Partnership of Long Island to then serving New York City and eventually all of New York. And there are so many young people that have you to thank because they were matched up with an amazing mentor that helped shape their lives.
Hi, Jean. It's my great honor to say a few words on your behalf. You've been an inspiration to me, and you've helped countless young people in our community achieve their potential. We're all very proud of all that you've accomplished and wish you nothing but the best going forward. Cheers.
Jean changed my life and was such a mentor to me in so many ways. I will never forget her telling me, mentoring is my religion. Thank you, Jean, for being such a force and leader and for being my mentor and friend.
Jean, congratulations. I just wanted to say a big heartfelt thank you to you. You have been such an incredible mentor to me as a young entrepreneur, businesswoman, guided me through the board process, and just have been an all-around really inspiring woman in my life.
How fortunate for Mentor to have had you at its helm for so many years. Your extraordinary leadership and unswerving commitment to the youth of New York have inspired all of those who have had the privilege of working with you. We wish you continued success in your new role as Senior Director for Strategic Advancement. Congratulations.
When I first met Jean, I was a little girl at a fundraiser at Crate and Barrel with my parents, and I had admired how hard she had been working. Over the years, I got to volunteer with her through events at Brooks Brothers and now being on the board, and it's just truly a pleasure and an honor getting to know such a hardworking and dedicated person.
Jean, congratulations on your award, which is so well deserved.
we've known each other about 15 years now, and throughout that time, you've shown such dedication to Mentor New York, before that Mentoring Partnership of Long Island, to all the programs that you helped create, but most importantly, to all the kids who've benefited from your tireless efforts. So on behalf of all of the kids in my mentoring program, the LIGHT program, and all the kids throughout New York State who are in mentoring programs, thank you so much.
So this is me up, I guess. It's pretty amazing and kind and generous remarks. Thank you so much. I want to congratulate all the Mentors of the Year. They are so special, every one of them. And from what I understand, there were so many others, it was hard to choose. They're really deserving of the honor they have. It's also a really special privilege for me to be recognized tonight at our annual remembrance of Luke Boisi, a kind and caring young man who left us too soon. We will always remember him. 25 years ago, when I met Jim Boisi and Joan Brennan and learned about the Mentoring Partnership, that's what we were called then, I knew that I wanted to make a difference for young people, and I had no idea if we could really impact young lives. But Jim and Joan were exceptional leaders and convinced me to join them. And I, in turn, convinced Joan to come be a mentor for my school mentoring program. I think that's what gave her confidence to hire me. She called it determination, or maybe just New York nerve or pushiness. But that solidified how we would work together. We weathered many challenges over the years, from the tragic events of 9/11 to the devastation of Hurricane Sandy, and we watched mentors help their mentees and families move on. We rose above the financial challenges of 2008, and now during this pandemic, mentors are still connecting with their mentees. In some cases, schools can't find the kids, but our mentors know where they are. As we face issues of racism and police unfairness, Mentor New York is helping to make that dialogue relevant and impactful for our mentees, elevating youth voices. And I should say here that the entire staff at Mentor New York is where I am most proud. Now led by my colleague Brenda Jimenez, Mentor New York is becoming a most important voice and catalyst for change for youth. Hiring Brenda is probably the best thing I ever did for Mentor New York. Right now, I want to thank my family for their support, Ruben, Jesse, Liz, and of course, Henry. You'll be hearing about Henry when he becomes a great mentor. I started to make a list of all of you who have made this journey so worthwhile. When I hit 350 names, and I wasn't done, I knew that I couldn't name them all in these short remarks. I tried to list them in a slide in your presentation, but even then, not every name would fit. All these people, all of you, have made Mentor New York successful. You have made me so proud of our work and grateful that I've had this chance. A reporter once asked me if I liked my job. It is the best job ever. I have gotten to work with people every day who step up for children they don't even know. As the great Bill Russell, a longtime Mentor board member, said, there is no such thing as other people's children. You all prove that. Thank you for the privilege of being part of this great work. Thank you for this honor and for your continuing to support Mentor New York in your work and your financial support and your leadership. Thank you for helping us look after all our children. I appreciate the kind words, and I know you're going to keep the power of this organization alive and going forward. Right now, you can help by continuing to bid on the silent auction item. What would be a presentation from me at this if I didn't tell you to bid on the silent auction items? A link to the website is going to appear in your chat box. There's golf at Friar's Head with Jeff Boisi, virtual training classes that you can take in your living room, and beautiful jewelry from Christina V. Please bid and have some fun supporting Mentor New York and all our kids. Thank you so much. Thank you for your kind words, and thank you for all that you have done.
Thank you, Jean. Thank you so much for the many years of leadership and dedication. I know you know this, but you are truly a mentor and a friend to me. It's been an amazing journey the last 6 years to be your partner and to be able to continue to build on the amazing foundation that you created in the organization. When I first came, I said this once: if I can box whatever Jean does up and sell it, we would be forever in perpetuity in existence. So thank you so much for the work and the commitment, and I look forward to the next phase of our partnership in this organization. And like John Lewis says, making some good trouble in this state. So tonight has been an amazing evening. It's taken a team effort to make this a successful event. I want to personally thank the Mentor New York team for all the great work that they've done, the tireless commitment in checking every detail so this hour would go without a glitch. Our volunteers, everyone who's participated. It was so moving. I especially want to thank Jessica Silverstein. Please wave, our staff member, our project and special events person. She's been relentless, and I know you've heard from her throughout. She's amazing. And Hadley Kinberg, our marketing and communications manager, who really has pulled together some of the videos and marketing materials that you've received in order to make this evening a success. I also have to thank Jack Kavanaugh, Sabira Taylor, Adam Bishop, and Jean, because it's their work that continues to move while we take care of all the details of an event to make sure that programs are getting the services that they need and that program staff get the support that they seek in order to do the quality service that they do in our community. Together, they're the heartbeat of this organization, and I want to thank them. Now it's a great honor to present one of our exceptional program partners and young people and the young people he works with. Jared Shortmeyer, Administrative Director of Chime Program Manager at Empire State Youth Orchestra. We met Jared through a partnership in the Schenectady Foundation Mentor Up initiative, where we started to help infuse and strengthen mentoring practices in all their youth programs throughout their Schenectady community. Jared has been a great partner and an example of this work, especially as he pivoted his program virtually when the pandemic first hit. Jared has figured out how to continue to teach music and have students perform during these new virtual worlds that we live in. And he is truly one of our mentoring heroes on the ground. Jared?
Good evening, everybody, and thank you for joining us tonight to support the important work of Mentor New York. My name is Jared Shortmeyer, and I work for the Empire State Youth Orchestra based out of Schenectady. One of my roles within the organization is to manage the Young Leader Program. The Young Leader Program is a youth leadership development project for high school musicians that play and perform in any of our ensembles or orchestras. A core component of the program is mentorship. Each musician is paired with a mentor who is an established arts leader in our community based on similar interests of music education, performance, or even the arts admin side of things. Our mentees represent a diverse community of instruments, school districts, and backgrounds, and our mentors are professional musicians and conductors, college professors, and admin professionals from arts organizations. Following the COVID-19 stay-at-home orders, the Young Leader cohort met virtually each week to discuss, plan, and strategize on how to best serve our community during a pandemic. Focusing on the isolation of those in nursing homes and hospitals, the Young Leaders developed a virtual online music residency and sent it out to medical facilities and nursing homes across our region. Throughout this challenging time, Mentor New York has been a life raft of resources and information as they've arranged meetings about best practices on how to operate in this new world. But most importantly, Mentor New York brings together a community of like-minded folks who are dedicated to serving the youth of New York. As you can imagine, rehearsing and performing music at a time like this is very complicated. However, I am incredibly pleased that some of our young leaders were able to get together to rehearse and record a piece for you tonight. Here are some of our young leaders of the Empire State Youth Orchestra under the direction of Carlos Agreda.
Wow, let's give a round of applause to those young, talented musicians. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Well, our evening is coming to a close, and I just want to thank you all so much for putting together that wonderful piece for the 2020 Mentor of the Year Awards event. And again, thank you for joining us on this special night. And just sitting here listening to the past hour, caused me to reflect on my own mentorship journey. And this is not a plug, by the way, but I wrote a book some years ago called Playing Up, One Man's Rise from Public Housing to Public Service Through Mentorship. And it was really a tribute to mentors in my life because I wanted them to know that I wouldn't have achieved anything that I've achieved without the coaches, the teachers, the business associates and others in my life to really kind of help me overcome some of those challenges. So for all the mentors out there, I really want you to know that what you do matters, because it mattered for a person like me who had to overcome some challenges. And if it weren't for people who took the time to invest in my life, I wouldn't have gone to college. I wouldn't have gone to law school. I wouldn't have gone to business school. I wouldn't have had, the success that I've had in law and in business. And so this is more than just an organization for me. It's really a way of life. And I'm proud to be a part of this organization that I got involved in about 5 or 6 years ago when I was on Long Island, working with Andrea Elder Howell is right now. And so I'm just grateful to kind of be here to share with you. And I just want you to know what you do matters. And we're so grateful that you were all able to share and celebrate 5 outstanding mentors with us. Thank you for celebrating Jean, who was the executive director when I first came on board. So Jean, thank you for your leadership and all your work. Obviously, the world has changed and we're living in unprecedented times, but this organization will continue to evolve and to change with it. And so thank you once again. And as you already know, we are hosting an after party from 7 to 8. So please stay on this link if you can. If you haven't RSVP'd, you can. So please don't worry about that. And we just want to encourage everyone to stay involved, stay engaged. And on behalf of Mentor New York, the staff and the board and the young professionals, the advisory board, we want to thank all of you for participating with us this evening. Thank you so much and have a great night.